Hello students, we're going to look at a big document in case you ever run into one of these. First of all, I've loaded a document and I'm going to look at it in print view, Control P, and I just did Control P and got to print. And you can see your whole document then. This one here has what is called a header and some footers. These show up on every page. You can see how many total pages you have right here, 5. So I'm going to click through and we can see there's 5 pages, and notice this information stays on each page. It's staying in place, and up here it says page 3 and we're on page 3, page 4, and so on. Okay, so this is print view or printing view, and then here are some different settings that we can do. We've set it to landscape or orientation. You can do this out in the menus or come in here and do it. And I set it to narrow margins, and I'm going to work on what is called scaling. I'll have you do some scaling in the exercise. So right now there's no scaling, and look at, we have 14 pages and we have 1, 2, 3 columns, and we have all this extra space here. And if we go down to like page 7, then we get to the other half of it. So it's really not workable, and if you printed it, it would really be hard to work with this. So if you scale it, which I'm going to do, you can fit it all on one page, but it's not going to look great. Some charts will look great if there's enough room, but this one you can see it doesn't work. It's too big. But I can fit all columns on one page. And so it makes the font smaller, and now our document is 5, and each page has all the columns on it. So I'm going to have you do that to practice that. Okay, so if we're looking at this and I can scroll way over to the bottom here, and when I'm over here I lose all the other first 2 columns. And so sometimes you'll want to make this column stationary. So I'm going to click right here and I go into what's called view, and we have a feature called freeze panes, and I'm going to freeze the first row and column. So I'm going to click right here in B2, and so that gives this row and this column is, this here, and this is going to freeze. So I'm going to do that, freeze panes, and now watch when I move over. See, that stays in place, and when I scroll down, the heading stays in place. This is a little bit different than having your print titles that we worked on before, because this is just in view, so you can have this without actually having it on each page as you print it. Okay, so we're still looking in normal view. Let's look in page break view. We came to up here to view. We're looking at normal and then page break. Now we have these blue lines. I think I explained them before. There they are right here. So if you notice, there was like 1, 2, 3 columns that were printing on that first part. So let's go over here where I can actually see it. Maybe I can make my screen a little bit bigger. Oh, I'm running into problems right now because I have my printing at, I have that scaling on, and let me take that off for right now. No scaling. Okay, now we can really see where the blue line is. And sometimes you'll want to move it over and break at an interesting spot that you want to. See, I can move it wherever I want the page to break. And likewise, I can come down here to this dotted line and I can pull it up and pull it down. Like right here, it would be probably, if I wanted to break in between, say I had a whole group of uh, like all one city, and like this one said Renton, the last of the Renton, and then I wanted to move this up a little bit. You can adjust the bottom um, page break, and you can do each one individually. Okay, so if I move this one, it doesn't move the page break on all pages, just on the page that I'm on. The third view is page layout, and okay, it just gave me a message and said I needed to unfreeze my panes, which it did for me automatically. And now I'm on this page, and remember I made my page break here. Let me just change my page break over about to here and then go to page layout. Okay, see how I made my page break right there? Okay, so in page layout, you can work on your headers. See the word header right here? And to put your name in here, you type your name in here, and then if you want to put in your anything else, we want to get into the header footer. Now, remember when we were doing pictures in PowerPoint and you had to click on the picture before you would actually get the menus? Well, right now I'm in the header, and so there is a header and footer. If I click outside of it, it goes away, it's gone. If I click in the header footer area, it's there. And when I click it, now I have a different menu and I can put the current date. So I'll put the date. Or I can, let me take this part out real quick. I can put in the file name, and it puts a code in there that will put the file name. And if I wanted to put a page number in here, I could put, where's my page number? Page number right here. So these different codes, once I click outside of the header footer, then the actual number goes in there. So here's my current date. And if you want to put it in your footer, you can come down here. Now here I have this here. When you click that particular code, an ampersand and the word tab, gives me the sheet name. Remember the sheet on the bottom? That's the sheet name, and that's a little different than the file name. Current date, and then here I inserted a picture. So it's really flexible, and PowerPoint has headers and footers. Um, Excel has headers and footers, and Word has headers and footers. And so we're going to really work more on that when we're in Word. I'll tell you a little bit more about headers and footers. So now I want to go back to View, and I'm in my page layout. But you know what? You always work in normal view. But we made quite a few changes. Let's take a look in our printing now just to see what it's going to print like. See how you can see your header and footers, and there's that little picture. And then we changed it. We have my name up here now. We have the name of the file. This is the name of the file. This is the name of the sheet. And then we have our current date. And again, if you pick custom scaling, fit all columns on one page, it really changes it. And I put in a page break, that's why it's breaking there now. And we can go down. And you know what this one is missing is the print titles on here. I'm going to show you real quick how to do that again. So we're here and we want this to show up on all of our pages. So it's insert, excuse me, page layout, print titles, and here you can do a $sign and one and whatever, but it's easier to just click that row, and it, see how I came over here and clicked, and it put the $1 colon $1. So, and then we say OK, and now let's go back to print, and there's my heading on the first page, my second page, my third page. Okay, so print titles has to do with printing, print titles on each page, print the headings on each page, and view freeze panes, that's just viewing. So I could freeze the panes but not have them print out. So just to notice those two different things.